What's up, guys? We're gonna BroBeatzTV, and today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make some fast, dark guitar melodies. So let's hop right into it. We're gonna be using this guitar right here. And you can use any guitar sounds, any guitar VSTs for this. So let's go ahead and grab in the scales and get started. Let's do a harmonic minor, actually. Do like a G sharp. I think that'd be a nice. Use any scale really. Let's do that. Close that. Let's get started with this. So I want to take our time with this, so everyone can understand, because I don't think I've ever done a like fast guitar melody. Usually it's like a 160, kind of like a slower paced one. So let's start with our G sharp, and I'm gonna show you a nice way you can find like bass lines, especially in a harmonic minor, because there's so much tension here. Okay, so what we can do is make a chord upward until we have a triad, and then you could take one of these notes and pull it down an octave. Okay, something like that. And then from here you can move the notes over. Now if you want to use this note, you can, but what I would do is, after you find this next note, reset. And this is so we set ourselves up for success later and we have everything in harmony. And what we're going to do is take this note, and you can either make a chord upward, but I would suggest making a chord backwards. That usually works for like if you want to have like dark melodic stuff, and just move it over. Boom. But obviously we'll need to shrink this down because we want this to be faster. So I'm gonna hold Alt, drag in, quantize it. Now we should have something a little bit melodic here. Let's see. All right, nice little bass melody. And this isn't the only one that will work. You can try other ways to do it, but I'm just showing you a consistent way. If you want to, you can, add some lower notes. All right, so let's go ahead and fill up this blank canvas up here. So how are we gonna do that? So I'm gonna give you a cheat code. All you gotta do, right, because remember, we set ourselves up, so all you have to do is just take the first two notes you placed, copy them, pull them up. That's all you gotta do. And now this whole thing is about to be 10 times easier, because what we're gonna do is move this over, and you're gonna take this and make that triad. And then the same thing, you can just kind of animate these. Animate just means move them over. Right, you're just kind of making them play. So you can just find a nice little rhythm. So usually we could just like move some of these over. And maybe we could do something like this. I think that'll sound nice. And usually flamming things, offsetting them like this, will make it sound a little bit better for the guitar stuff. So from here, everything will be 10 times easier. I think this is sounding pretty nice, and we can just, just reuse notes, right? We can offset that. Let's take this G sharp and move it over. I'm gonna up the velocity. I'm gonna offset this a bit. Okay, I like that a little bit better. So I'm gonna move the velocity down a bit. So now I'm gonna shrink this down so we have a little bit more space. And what we're gonna do is basically just use some of the tricks that we've been using over here. So what we could do, and if you really want to, you can kind of use like the trick like this, or you can go backwards or whatever, right? But we want to make this 10 times easier. So we're gonna use a note we already have, pull that over, and then we're just going to make a chord backwards. And that's another way that you can do it. Doesn't have to be this way, but if you want to go up, you can. Doesn't really matter, but I'm just showing you just a quick way. Let's do our little wiggle here, and then we're gonna just make a dyad from these. You can do something like this. That's a little too melodic. I'm gonna move this up. So if we make another one up, we can find another note, right? So that's like the long way of doing it, rather than just placing it. And I'm gonna take this E. Now, why I'm taking this E is because if you look down here, it's up here. And if you remember, all this is in harmony. So if you pull this up like that, it comes full circle, right? So that's what I was talking about earlier about things coming full circle if you just set yourself up with the bass line. So I think we can pretty much finish this off. Like if you make a chord up like this, we could take these notes, bring them over, do a little flam, and then I think this melody is pretty good. Smooth these over. I think that's good for now. And then we copy it over, and now we have a little melody. And of course I could fix some of the stuff, the timing, but I think we just play it one time through. So that is our guitar melody. Let's go ahead and add our other instruments, and maybe we can add like some light effects on top because this is kind of like harsh to listen to. Next up, we have this little string sound. Okay, and I plan on adding some effects to this as well. So we're gonna be using this texture. So all you need to do from here is just take, I don't know, we could take like this, because I don't like to, with fast melodies like this, I don't like to overdo the chords with other sounds. I like to kind of let them be supports. You paste it in, and then you could just pull them up like this, and then that's pretty much it. All you got to really do, right? And if you want to, I guess if you want to, you can kind of use some of the other notes that we had before. So remember, you got to go backwards because this is a part of that G sharp. So if you want to use some of these notes, you could do that, right? I would probably just do something like that. And the reason I keep showing you like making a chord, the reason I'm doing that is to help you to be able to do this by yourself, so you know how to get these melodies, right? Rather than me going, oh well, I'm gonna just place the G sharp here and the E, and it's like, okay, well, how did you get these notes, right? So I like this, very simple. All right, very simple stuff. Let's go ahead and move on to our last instrument. Next up, we have our flute. So let's go ahead and hop into this. So we're gonna go in here, and from here, you could literally do whatever. You could just use your ear, but we're just gonna use the root because I think that'll be the easiest to start with. So I'm gonna just listen for a spot where I want it. I kind of want this to be fast paced too. And then what we can do is do like some little stuff in here. Maybe. And if we make the chord upward, we can find that fifth, boom, and then you can copy it over. Now, a quick way you can do this is you can highlight this and Control B, and then you can pull this down an octave. All right, so now we got a little nice melody we can work with. Now, what I'm gonna do is add just some effects just to tidy it up a bit, but I'm not gonna do anything heavy because I kind of wanted this to be very bare bones. So let's go ahead and do that. Lastly, we're gonna go over some effects. So we're gonna first go over our strings. So I'm gonna solo these. So I'm gonna play it off and on, and then on. All right, so I'm just using my go-to preset here, which is the trifecta synthwave in Bermuda. This just kind of makes everything texture. So I just like my favorite preset to do that. Now you can do the same thing if you just heavily EQ it, but I kind of like the movement there. And then I just added a reverb on top. Okay, and then for the guitar, I just added a heavy EQ to boost the noise and strings. And I didn't want to add like any lo-fi effect or anything like that, just very bare bones. And I separated it, so it's just off and then on. Okay, just to put it more on top of this sound, I could probably even push this down a little bit more. And then for the flute, I'm gonna solo this one. So this is off and then on. All right, and I push this one in mono to separate the guitar and the flute a bit. So for this one, for this preset, I just used this preset in infrared, okay? And this gave it that sound. And then on top, I added vibrato for more of a spookier sound. So this is what I used right here. This is the the number or the percentage for the depth, and then rate 10.58. And this is the sound. So I'll play it once or twice through. All right, and that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.